Welcome, Cancer. This is MoonLight Witchery, and I'm Edie. I'm going to be doing a love read, and this is going to be a timeless opening gift for you. Well, that was quite a ready jump already. Good for you. As I'm shuffling, Cancer, I'm feeling your peaceful energy of your surroundings come in. I'm seeing this Nine of Pentacles as you in the center here. It is an energy that I feel that you embody right now. You are making good money. And I feel that even those of you who are not making really that great money right now, and you're working on a project, now is the time for your project to start to be launched, is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a turnaround come for that financially for you the beginning of next year. Is what I'm seeing. So this is filmed in 2018, and I'm seeing for the beginning of 2019 that you have a pretty good start financially. And I feel like you've put a lot of work into a lot of things. And I also feel that for the most part, you know, Cancer, for those of you who are single, I feel like you've been in a relationship that has had its difficulties, and that you've decided to separate yourself from that and invest yourself in work, and now this work is just beginning to start to pay off. So don't give up on those work endeavors and putting those, as I see these sort of misplaced emotions, and there's a reason why I'm saying that as misplaced emotions, but I'm seeing that these misplaced emotions get channeled into work and creativity, and you make some of the most beautiful art and some of the most beautiful, I see, creative ideas come to you in this next year. So the reason why I say that it is wasted emotion, because the relationship was not reciprocal that I'm seeing. For those of you that have just recently broken up, the relationship is showing me that you have put a lot of effort in and there was very little energy put back. I feel like the person you're with has made you a lot of promises, and then for a lot of you, you've been ghosted, is what I'm seeing. The person lives fairly far away, so it's given them the opportunity to do that fairly easily to you. And I feel like you've seen some warning signs, but you didn't really want to pay too much attention to it. And you thought, oh, no, I was going to concentrate on work and work towards the relationship and put my effort into it. You kept doing that, slotting things away and doing that. And I feel like this is a huge lesson for you, because I feel this is sort of divinely guided, because you really weren't paying attention to what was being said to you in this past relationship. And that was, this is not going to be long term. You were getting that feeling, but then you dismissed those feelings immediately. I'm not saying that you should be cynical about everything, but when you get that gut feeling that you know something is not quite right, I'm seeing that honoring this situation right now is really important. And it's time for you to channel the energy that you have into creative ideas and into new relationships, by the way, is what I'm seeing. I'm feeling like there is a third-party situation for some of you. The ones that I'm telling you, your intuition is pretty spot on. I'm feeling Cancer, so I'm gonna say in the next 12 years, you're gonna have sort of more and more openings of energy towards psychic ability, and I feel that there is, you know, that there's been a third-party situation, but you just thought you could carry it and they'll forget it, or it won't mean anything, or you're like, oh no, that's not quite, yeah, I'm just guessing that, I'm just thinking that, and I don't want to put any energy into it and manifest it, so you just stop thinking about it. But there's a point where your intuition is saying, okay, you must pay attention here. So I feel like if you look back over the last 12 years or so, you're going to see a pattern that has been with you, that every person that you've been seeing has sort of ghosted you out of the blue, but you kind of knew it was coming, but you didn't want to accept what was. There was sort of an illusionment of it. So I'm seeing this over the last 12 years as sort of a thing that a repeated pattern that you've been doing. So now you're like, okay, that's it. I'm not repeating this pattern anymore. And you're really understanding it and you're getting it. So I'm seeing that from this strength here, the strength comes from you repeatedly making this thing of people around you. You're not paying attention to your intuition and you're dismissing it. So it's like, you know, when you do that, you're like, oh, I should have listened. And, you know, we all do that to some degree. However, I'm feeling that in relationships for you, Cancer, this is a really important thing for you to be paying attention to within the next relationship that you're going to be developing, because there is one coming in, I feel very, very strongly, while you're sort of grieving this past one. And it's sort of the universe's way of saying, I'm giving you a little push. You concentrated on work long enough. You know you got it, that you have to put your creative outlet into that in some form, in some fashion, or your constructiveness and your discipline comes out in your work. And I also see some of you are working out quite a bit. So there's a whole regime of that coming in. I'm feeling like over this winter, not to allow yourself to get too sad and down, but, you know, get yourself out to the gym, make yourself feel good. Get yourself back in shape if you're out of shape, or continue to look after yourself if you're just starting a new regime is what I'm seeing. Don't give up on that, because you're going to see really good effects of that over the winter time. If you choose not to do it, then I feel like, you know, you're just sort of just going to get maybe complaining a lot, and people are going to want to be around that. So, you know, the choice is yours. That's what I'm sort of seeing here. You know, you get yourself out and around socially, even if it's not to the gym, but I am seeing that will benefit you especially. But if it's not, then I feel like you should at least get out socially and make the attempt to be social, even if you're feeling a little awkward about it, because I am seeing that some of you are feeling a little bit awkward about it. Just go out and have fun. And if you need to find a new group of friends because maybe your ex is around, then I feel like then that's what you're going to do, is go off in a different route, meet different groups of people. I'm seeing sort of like, you know, you're starting to go through this spiritual journey, and it is affecting you. Your love life is affecting you through that avenue. And as it is doing so, you're starting to, like I said, pay more attention to your intuition. This time around, this sort of cycle of energy that's coming in right now for you is cutting off the old and bringing in the new. And this new that's coming in is more disciplined, it's kinder, it's definitely more creative. I see many channels opening up for you in your neurological pathways in the brain. I'm actually seeing this open up to more creativity, more homebodiness over the winter. Yet what you do at home is very creative and it makes money on the side. And I'm seeing that has this effect on your whole family, for those of you who are actually living with your family. I'm seeing also a return of children, and possibly over the winter time, I'm seeing that an old love, an old flame is coming in, and you forget how much joy that person has brought you. Yet I feel like you're going to just become good friends, or you're not going to become lovers. Again, you're going to become good friends. So that's kind of a fun thing that happens for you. I am seeing relationships divinely guided right now, and you know almost immediately when something is good for you and when it's not. And the universe is definitely saying, you know, pay attention to the signs. Pay attention to the way that things are falling into place for you. When you're struggling so hard, I feel like this is the time that you are being too codependent. You're allowing too much in your life and you've not set boundaries. So now you're becoming a little bit stronger in yourself. You're having the strength to set boundaries down. But be careful of that sharp tongue, because we know, Cancer, when you speak your mind, it comes out, and it comes out fairly sharp and fairly stern. So I say that, use that gentle, compassionate energy that you hold deep inside within your heart, and when you're speaking your truth, it doesn't have to come off as harsh or bitter. It can come out as, this is your truth, this is what you know, this is what works for you. And that no one is going to take offense to. If you're starting a new relationship, I'm seeing there for the group of you that are starting a new relationship, you want to charge full ahead, but don't go too fast, because I feel like when you sit back and you look at what's going on in and around you, for a long time you've been sitting in this sort of state of, look at what I've lost, look at what I've lost. You've lost I feel like you've let go of a lot of things. You haven't lost it. You've released a lot of things within the last, I'd even say 15 years. So anything that's cycling back to you right now, this is a chance for you to finally release it and let go of it. And it seems to be a really big thing. Some of you, it's money, I feel. Some of you, it is giving your energy to other people who really need it. Maybe they need healing and can't pay for it. I feel like those of you who are healers are going to offer them some sort of trade, that they feel good about themselves, that they're not taking complete charity, and that you are also helping them at the same time. So it works both ways. So you might do some sort of a trade where they come and clean your house while you do a healing on them, or something of that nature. So I'm seeing this energy come in for you, and it helps you pull out of this. And I'm also seeing other people in and around you are sad. You may have suffered a loss of a loved one, I feel, recently. Oh, this loved one's coming in really strongly, and this may be just for one of you, but I feel like this is a mother. And the mother was sort of infirmed as she was older. She was bedridden and unable to speak really, but she wants to tell you that she remembers the care that you gave her. And one of the things was you held her hand, and the other thing was that you made flowers in her space that really brought her a lot of joy. She used to love gardening, and that's really brought her a lot of joy. So even though she may have been despondent, she wants you to know at the end of her life, it was not a wasted effort. She appreciated, she could see, she could hear, she just couldn't communicate very well because of the depression. But the way that you took care of her made her feel not depressed when you were around. Even though I feel like she was depressed, possibly Alzheimer's was the thing that she was suffering from, is what I'm feeling. And so you weren't sure if, she was even really lucid when you were around. But she seemed to perk up when you were around a little bit. And she may have had a smile, and you may have thought to yourself, oh, I don't think that that's a real smile. It's just, she's just thinking about something else. But it's not true. She was thinking about how much she appreciates you. And almost I feel like you were talking to, I don't want to get too much in depth of this, but I feel like you were talking to them. And I feel like this is a way for them to say, I feel like there's a message here that you're more than welcome to communicate with your mom. I feel this is your mom that has passed at any time, and they will do their best to help encourage you and make you feel good. And I feel like in your heart, you know that they're responding to you, and when you call upon them, they're right there. So you may have lost them in the last 6 months. I feel this is very heartfelt to you. You had a close relationship in life, but understand something. The veils are very thin right now. And as they're thin right now, you're able to talk to those people, and they hear you, and they can communicate with you, and they will start to communicate with you when you ask them to leave you signs or information that you need or help that you need. They were going to bring you help that you need with the people that you need when you need it. That's what they're telling me over your life. So they will leave messages like maybe repetitive messages in books or on TV or something you're watching on the internet, or maybe a person will say something and somebody comes from the internet and then you read something. And it's all the same message within short periods of time. Repetitive numbers as well are coming to me for you for this. Also, I feel there's something about a tapping of a cane, almost like a bell ringing before they got super sick. So they were, there's that message from there as well. So that's enough about that whole channeling. If you need to, have more in-depth readings about those types of things, then you're more than welcome to message me about those in the links below. But for now, I wanted to just give you that message. It seems to me that, there's quite a few coming in now also. So there is loved ones concerning those of you who are involved in the arts. And they're basically giving a group message saying, continue on, the arts are very important. This is what lays foundation of culture. And if you thinking about giving it up, do not give up. It's what your life purpose is. It's just a little bit of a rough road for the next little while before the energies start opening up for you. So it depends on what you concentrate on. They're telling me that what you think is what you're going to manifest. So concentrate on those positive things. And I feel like releasing anger is a real thing also for you Cancerians as well. So there's some deep felt things that are going to be karmically resolved from childhood issues that I'm seeing come up. And this is affecting your love life because the same problems seem to be coming up over and over again in your love life. And you're like, why? Well, your guides are going to be here to say, hey, here's why. And they're going to give it to you in threes. That's what I'm seeing. We have the Emperor here as the last card, and this seems to me that you have things under control, you have direction, you have the willpower to be able to move forward, but I would caution you on doing that at all costs and not thinking about, obviously, people around you. So I feel like there are people around you that are coming into your world. I actually feel like you have a choice between two women. One of them is much more severe than the other. And I feel like you go with the one that is not so severe, and that you are centering on one that is not so severe, and they have their finances in order, they're caring and loving. I feel like they do charity for the community, and this is very important to you as well, to give back to community. You possibly may work in a field where you're giving to community. So for instance, a teacher or health practitioner of some kind, I feel that, this is the type of energy that you're bringing out to the world right now. And this is a beautiful energy to approach a new relationship with as well. And that I see coming for you. If for those of you who are seeking that, this is the thing that's coming for you, and it is coming in balance at this time. There actually seems to be a lot of things that are coming into a balance at this time, but it's not effortless. Like, you have to put the effort in to be able to do this. So let's go into the karmic energy of why this is going on, and if there's guidance from the Akashic Records for Cancerians. The Oracle of Delphi. The War of the Roses. So I'll just show you the two here. So when I look at these cards, the first thing that came to me, the Oracle of Delphi, I was feeling earlier that your psychic ability was just going to blossom, and I can't make these cards up as I'm shuffling them. They're just popping out. And I feel like you have help from the other side, also possibly from these people who are wanting to channel, bring forth energy for you. These ancestors, I feel, that are there for you. They may have roots in Greece, so your DNA may go back to Greece and to these oracles. And these oracles were here for the scribes to be able to guide the nations. And so when you're listening to the advice of oracles, this is important for you at this time. Very important also, they're telling me to purify your energy. If you do not have any understanding of psychic ability, you may want to take some psychic development courses, and I'm offering some in the near future. So if you wish to email me, you can get some more information about those things. But I'm feeling very closely that wherever you are in the world, you're going to seek out the teacher that is for you, and they're going to help you understand being an oracle. Because I feel like you need help with this and understanding of this, and purifying your energy is where you're going to have to start. Maybe even possibly a study of Wicca is a very good idea for you, or some sort of shamanic practice is what I'm seeing as well. So Wiccan is more, the European sort of shamanic energy in general, and it can be, and also there is, Celtic shamanism, which I am a Celtic shaman, and also I'm seeing that you may go off and study in these areas. So even if you go and get healings, if there is native within your energy field, traditional sweat lodge is what I'm seeing that will help be beneficial for you, and you will have visions within this about where it is that you're coming from and why you're here and what your purpose is. I feel like there's a group of you who will be wanting to know that, what your purpose is in life. And you'll know that it has something to do with your psychic ability. So you need to go and look for help in the proper channels of where you can go and get that help. And there's a few places I can direct you to. Like I said, email me if you're interested in those developments. I feel like, your ancestors may be coming to you, and they are even coming to you in apparition, possibly as you're waking up in the night. You're not afraid at all. In fact, you're very curious and wondering, how you can communicate more. I feel like if you go to sleep in your dreams and you're open to receiving the messages, they will give you the messages in dream time, because during waking hours, you're not so sure if you want to be talking to your ancestors or seeing them. Maybe talking to them was okay in your mind, but I feel like, in the dream state, you're more receptive to what they're going to say. So I feel like journaling is very important for you. Even you have lots of sparks of ideas that are going to be good for businesses. So this is very, very important. I swear, in half a year from now, you're going to look back and all the little things that you wrote down, and you're like, I never even remember writing that. I'm so happy I did it. Whether it's recording it, whether it's, just anything, jotting it down on your phone. You're not going to remember these things. So when you revisit them, there are ideas that are going to come to you that you'll be able to put into practice within your love life. There's personal information, I feel. Some of you are also, I'm seeing quite a few people who, of different signs, write books, and you're another one. I'm seeing one, I'm actually seeing an idea for a book that someone is writing about their grandmother's views on a modern day life, or something of that nature. So that's quite interesting and quite fun. So good luck with that. And I do see it being profitable. So it seems like a lot of fun, and you get it published, and that's really great. Not easy to get published. And so I feel like you go and you get the right people, and ask your ancestors to put the right people in the right place at the right times for you. Another thing that you can do is get some candle magic done, and you're more than welcome to email me and ask me about that specific thing for healing energy, so that you can open up those oracle energies. Also, along with this is called the War of the Roses. As I see the War of the Roses, I feel like there's some outer turmoil in and around you, and this outer turmoil may be family feuding of some kind, people standing their ground, no movement within this. And this Oracle of Delhi didn't come up like this in this position for no reason. So this is fated, and you sort of know that you can't do anything about this, so it's better to just sort of step away and to move the energy and shift it into your creativity. And so, like I said, some of those books and some of those different things, different perspectives on how you view things might be a good way to just jot those things down, and whatever comes to you and whatever avenue there's an escape for that, and to be able to have a healthy expression through creativity is an amazing way to do it. I am feeling like some of you are going to be going through a divorce as well. Not only have some of you been ghosted, but some of you are going through a divorce, and there's a lot of bickering. I'm seeing like a bitter divorce. So if you step yourself aside and you just, like I said, concentrate on the things, use it productively in the channels that we were talking about. Having a study I'm seeing of your Kundalini energy opening, maybe in your sacral chakra might be something blocked. If you're not using your creativity, then I feel like there's something sort of really wrong. And so you might want to look outside for some external help. Maybe talk to your doctor if there's like depression involved or something of that nature. So at this time, there may be some health issues, mental health issues, as well as physical health issues that are affecting your mental health. If you meditate, I feel like it will help you a great deal. Even just Googling anything for healthy mindset is a good idea at this time, so it doesn't override your thinking. Okay? So I'm going to talk with romance angels now to see what information is good for you. Woo! These cards are really ready, I tell you. Pay attention to the red flags. Now, we talked about that earlier. They certainly are jumping. Attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. So, these are kind of really amazing cards to be having. When I see them, pay attention to the red flags. It's like you have let go and have released your ex. Those of you that needed to do that, you really need to do that. You need to stop being hung up on them, and you have actually released them and let them go. I also feel some of you Cancerians have been quite bitter and quite vicious with your tongue in the fight too, so you're pulling away from that energy. So paying attention to the red flags and attraction. When I see these two, we were talking about earlier, pay attention to the red flags about, you know, not living in that illusionment world. It's almost like I feel like this is a chance for you to be like, okay, I am going to live my life. I am going to be in the matrix, but I'm not going to be hanging out in there too long. I'm going to pull myself out from any drama that needs to be taken care of. I will take care of it, and I am not going to gossip. I feel like there's gossip around you concerning this, and you're just sort of pulling yourself away from the whole attitude of I'm better than the rest. And it sort of seems like the person that you were involved with in the past has that sort of attitude. And there may even be children involved, I'm seeing, within this relationship. And you sort of are concerned in how your children are. So you don't want this energy around your children for very long. I feel like if it's an ex, you know, like the mother or father of your children, there's not much you can do about that. But when they are in your presence, you don't have to engage in any of the nonsense that was happening in the past. I also feel like red flags are for people who are entering a new relationship at this specific time. I feel like you should just hang back a little bit and watch their behavior and see, because within a few months, and I'm seeing within 3 to 5 months of you starting this new relationship, you are genuinely told, okay, this isn't good, okay, this isn't good. And your ancestors are there, right there, saying, this is not good for you. Don't go down this road. Don't go down this road. So you sort of maybe, you know what, if you want to go have some fun, date, whatever, that's fine. But I feel like now is not the time to be very serious in the relationship for those of you who are just starting out new. It's there to see whether you actually are compatible. So if you're feeling like there's a bunch of things that aren't compatible, stop seeing the person. Who cares if the sex is so wonderful? I'm just kidding. No, that's not what I'm seeing. I mean, I am seeing it for some, but that's not the main thing. The main thing in your mind is actually to have a balance within the emotional energies and emotional maturity, and that's what you want to attract. So I feel like, you know, there's a bunch of you who have learned that, okay, I'm going to watch this now. I've seen this happen in my last relationship. I'm going to just not follow down this road anymore. Your guides are truly here helping you get past this. They want you to learn this lesson. So please open yourself up to them, pray that you can understand the energies that they're giving you, that they're loaning you, that you see the signs, and that please, help them open your eyes where you need help with gentleness, because gentleness is important. To have compassion, have them have compassion for you as well. This life is hard enough without having to learn even harder lessons. The way they do it is by you being magnetically attractive. I feel like you are attracting the person that you're with your magnetics, and it's there to mirror, to show you that this is what you don't want. I don't want this in my life, and so you are going to attract now the things magnetically towards you that are good for you. And if you're paying attention to the signs, you're listening to the oracle self, you're listening to the intuition, you're following the way you're supposed to be doing, releasing your emotions and your creativity, and not being codependent on those things either, as much as I see some codependency within relationships and also work, some addiction situations there in that. Those are the two things that I'm seeing. And so I'm feeling like, you pull yourself out of that, you get yourself some help if it's needed, and you're also paying attention to the red flags, and so it's opening up the spiritual journey for you that in the past I feel like you've done a little bit of research, but it's been surface, it's been mental, and now you want something heartfelt. You want to have spirituality in your life where your heart feels full and warm and at peace, and then you can offer that in a relationship. And because I feel like you almost had this in the past. You felt like you almost had it, but now I'm telling you, I feel within the next couple of years, you got this relationship that you want again. And for those of you that are in a relationship and that are teetering here and there, I'm seeing there's a few breakups, but for the most part, you work the things out because you stand fast and you stand your ground. But don't be so steadfast and so stubborn that you don't pay attention to the signs, Cancer. Please, I implore you. Your guides are imploring you. Your spirit guides that are coming to you from your family are saying, pay attention. Don't just work and work and work and pay attention to work, because you have a tendency to do that. But pay attention to now the things that have been sort of rocky in your life, which is your home life. Now you're creating this really strong, good foundation. And so you're letting go. The strength is like what you're going to rely on. You're letting go of all of the nonsense that has not served you in the past. So this is really a wonderful read for you Cancerians, and I do wish you well on your journey. And if you have any questions or comments or anything like that, all my contact information is down below. So enjoy your videos for the future, and we'll be doing monthly ones and plus a few other ones. So I hope you enjoy them, and we'll see you there. Bye, Cancer.